Alright, so turbo's all hooked up, exhaust is all hooked up, no leaks that I could tell, at least not yet. Wait, maybe I do have a leak. That looks a little leaky there, so maybe that needs to be tightened up, but no leaks on the return. So I gotta go ahead and get the intercooler back on. Hopefully everything lines up alright. The turbo does sit back just a little bit further than the old one, or the compressor housing sits back just a little bit further. But hopefully there's enough stretch in the couplers that everything works out. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up that top oil fitting a little bit more and work on getting the intercooler back on. It's so freaking hot, by the way. This weather's just very unpleasant weather. Alright, so over here I've got a bit of a clearance issue where the pipe's been rubbing up against the motor mount or the tow hook. So I'm going to go ahead and take that pipe off and grind down that hook a little bit. actually work quite well. You can kind of sort of see down there. You can kind of see how close the mount is to that pipe. So it's still pretty close, but none of the stuff moves very much, so it should be okay. It just can't be touching. Because if it's touching, it's rubbing. And once it rubs through, it's no fun. This one's really close. It looks like it's touching, but it's not touching anything. It's just really, really close. So, alright. On to other things. Alright, so she's all back together. Well, everything but the grill, but I'm just leaving that off right now. That intake, yeah, ignore the chode for right now. That's just, that's temporary. This is the filter I'm actually going to run. It says that when I ordered the 4-inch pipe, I ordered the same angle pipe I had with the 3-inch intake I had. You know, this is the intake for the old turbo. So I was like, oh, I'll just order the same stuff. I'll order a 45 and a 90-degree coupler, and it should translate, right? Well, it doesn't. So, sorry, I'm all out of breath, breathing into the camera. So, anyways, what I need to do is I ordered a 45-degree coupler, because I didn't want to buy another piece of 4-inch aluminum pipe, and that should angle the intake down enough so that this sits flat in there. Of course, the other option is I can order another piece of 4-inch and actually make a nice, you know, bent intake and everything, but I don't want to do that. So this is just temporary. It's a filter I had laying around, and it's just stuck on there for now so that nothing gets sucked into the turbo. So now for a test spin. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to decrease the duty cycle for the boost control solenoid, since I don't know what boost is going to be like on this thing. So I'm pretty much just going to set it to run wastegate pressure or something along the lines of it. And then just, I don't know, test drive. Not going to get into it too much. The roads are kind of wet, so I can't really tune it. But yeah, just a quick test drive. Just gonna go for a quick little spin, get some logs with the new turbo, see how she do. Roads are probably still pretty wet, but we'll give this a shot. See what happens. I'm gonna pull it out in front of this guy. Alright, so this is a few days after the last clip. I've since got the intake on. A little 45-degree coupler came in, and it turned out it was exactly what I needed. So it placed the intake exactly where it needed to be. Looks real nice and slick in there. Yeah, turbo, so far so good. No complaints other than CXracing's extremely shitty customer service. But yeah, the turbo seems to perform well, especially for its size. For that size of, for a 84mm compressor wheel, it spools up pretty quick. It's not blazing fast. Like I said, I still have the boost set fairly low, and I think I've noticed, the few times I went to the track where the car would produce really low boost the first few runs, I think the boost control solenoid gets overheated, because I think I saw the same thing today after driving the car around for a few hours playing with it. My boost gradually just kind of went down, and so normally, I'd see about 15 psi there, but we won't use that one. So yeah, we can see it's not the best log. Let me see if I can find another log. All right, so here's a log where I was basically just seeing just how responsive the turbo is. So the green line here is throttle. So here you can see where I'm wide open throttle, 100% throttle, 99.9% throttle, whatever. The white line is RPM, yellow line is boost. So you can see here I matted it at about 3700. You can see just how quickly the boost comes online, which quickly probably isn't the right word, but you can see right about 4,000, we're at about 6 psi. 4,300, we're at 14 psi. And this is I want to say this is like a 4th gear pull, what I did, so under pretty heavy load. So 14 psi, 4,300. And then by 5,000 RPM, we're at 23.6 psi. That was kind of an accident. Seems like whenever I load the car up like that, it overboosts like every single time. If I try and mat it from a high gear, it'll spike, it'll boost spike. It'll fall back down to where it should be, which is about 16 psi, but yeah, it'll definitely overspike. But yeah, so full boost every time, 5,000 RPM. Realistically, full boost about 4,400 RPM on a 1.8 liter engine with a 84mm compressor wheel. So yeah, that's not too bad. It comes on pretty quick. Another scenario. Let's see. All right, so this one's a pretty good run. You can see where right around 4,700 I nail into it. 4,800 I'm wide open throttle, and then by 5,000 we're at full boost. So while the turbo doesn't come online until about 4,500, it does spool. It does go from no boost to full boost relatively quickly. We're talking 4,700 to 5,000 to full boost. So what are we talking? Was that 300 RPM? So it's not too bad. Builds boost pretty quickly. So yeah, so far so good. So far I'm happy with it. We'll see how it does in the long run. I gotta say that from the few pulls that I did do, the new turbo at 15 psi feels faster than the old turbo at 22 psi. part of that effect is probably also the E85. I'm not quite running full E85 yet. The car is currently running on E50 because I still had a half a tank of gas, so I'm not running a whole lot, and I have the timing set really conservative for E85, but yeah, the car definitely feels a lot quicker. So yeah, as soon as the weather clears up, head out to the track, throw the slicks on, get some full tank of E85, and probably crank the boost up, because like I said, right now I'm running about 15 psi. Maybe I'll see what it does at that, but I'll probably crank it. I'll probably go to about 20, 25, maybe 30. I don't think I have enough injector for 30, but definitely at a minimum, I'd like to run 20 psi with the slicks. So yeah, until the weather clears up, this will probably be the last video for a while. Until next time.